Hello, happy Tuesday. It is Cyber Tip Tuesday, and I am Kristin Judge with the Cybercrime Support Network. I hope you're all doing really well today. So today we want to talk about something called debt collector scams. With the COVID pandemic, we probably have quite a few people who may be going into debt because of job loss or job reductions, medical bills. So there could be in our economy an increase in debt right now. And of course, as we've always told you, the scammers will follow whatever the trends are. And so there is an increase right now in debt collector scams, as reported by the Federal Trade Commission and Consumer Reports. So I want to walk you through what that looks like and what you can do to make sure that you and the people you care about are not a victim of debt collector scams. So first of all, the FTC has seen very clearly that most of the debt collector scams come in through your phone first. So it's usually a phone call, not necessarily a text or an email to get started. So, and most of the people that don't hang up lose about $1,000 per incident. So people are getting scammed for about $1,000 on average. But a lot of people do hang up on the calls, probably because they have some very nasty people usually on the other end. Not that people are nasty, but they are using nasty tactics necessarily. If they're criminals, we can call them nasty. So how do phone calls or robocalls or scam phone calls relate to cybersecurity and cybercrime? Well, many times these phone calls can then turn into something where the fake debt collector tells you to go to a website, or they try and get your personal information and they steal your identity and they create another identity online, or they have you wire money through a website or through sharing gift cards. So it's hard to tease out the two. Cybercrime can happen with starting on the phone and then move to the internet, or vice versa. So I think it's really important, because we've seen a spike in robocalls and these debt collector scams, that we at least address it. And I want to really make sure that you're talking to people in your life that could be impacted by this, people that live alone, or sometimes seniors who are used to always answering the phone when a phone call comes in. So let me give you an example of someone calling. They would call and they will have your name and your phone number. Unfortunately, that information is pretty public. Google yourself if you haven't. You can probably find your name, your phone number, your address, and a lot of information about you. So they'll call and they'll say that you owe money, and they may not even tell you who you owe money to. They just may say, we're a collection agency and I'm calling you from this organization and you owe money. And if you don't recognize the debt they explain to you, if you say, okay, so what do I owe? Well, you owe $500. Well, who do I owe it to? And they may say you owe it to ABC Landscaping Company or whatever it may be. And you don't recognize it. That's your first red flag. If you don't recognize what the debt is, ask some more questions. And then ask for their mailing address and their phone number and say, well, if I do owe something, give me the address and I can mail a check. If they won't give you the address of where you should mail the check or their phone number of the company, then that's another red flag. They may also try and threaten you and say, if you don't give them the information that they're requesting, that they'll report you to law enforcement. They may also claim that if the debt is not paid, someone will come to your house and arrest you. That is not going to happen. This is an urgency that they're trying to get you to give more information right now. And certainly people are going to be scared if they think that someone's going to come to the door and arrest them. So similar to what we have on Scam Spotter, you got to slow down. If something is urgent, slow down first, because most of these scams come through with an urgency, okay? And the FTC has some suggestions and some rules. First of all, collectors cannot harass you. They cannot lie or treat you unfairly. And I'm very thankful to the FTC when they find companies that are true debt collectors, but they're acting in an abusive manner, they work to shut them down. They are our lawyers for the country and consumer protection. So I'm very appreciative of that. And if you have either a fake scam debt collector or just an abusive debt collector, you can report both of those to the FTC complaint assistance. So please make sure that you're reporting so the FTC has the information and can potentially take down some of these bad actors. All right, so the Consumer Reports has some other tips that you can think about. They'll tell you sometimes if they're a bad debt collector and they're a scammer, that your friends, your family, and your employer are going to find out if you don't take care of it right now. They're going to call them and tell them what's happening to you. But a real debt collector is not allowed to publicly share any of your debts. So that could be a red flag that it's a scam. They also try and call you before 8 in the morning, after 9 o'clock, all these different crazy times, but professional and government offices don't call likely during those times. Could be that the criminals are overseas, or they're just trying to catch you when you're off guard, because most of us don't take calls at 8 in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. And then they will try and withhold information from you. So a real debt collector will be able to give you necessary information like the creditor's name, the amount you owe, maybe your account number. But if they don't have all that information, then it's probably a scam. And they pressure you to pay with a money transfer or a prepaid card. Think about it. If it's not something that can be traced, it's probably a scam. Some of you may not have checks anymore, but if someone needs you to send them money urgently, maybe go to the bank and get a regular check so that it can be traceable. And don't just send a money transfer or a prepaid card. You never want to send money via gift card either. And we've talked about this many times. A gift card is never a form of payment, but these are the kinds of things you have to tell the people in your life that you care about. I don't want to say that all seniors don't understand that, but we are seeing that some seniors will send gift cards because they're told that that's a form of payment, and they probably haven't used those Best Buy gift cards in their past as much as some of us have. So please make sure you have these conversations with people. And so it's really important to note that if there's any threatening language, it's probably a scam. That's one of your big red flags. But go to scamspotter.org. If you think something is a scam, we created scamspotter.org with Google for a place to go to check it out. Am I being scammed? If you're on the fence and you're not sure, you can go there, take a quiz, look at some of the red flags, and then we have 3 golden rules. Number 1, slow down. If someone is approaching you urgently that you have to do something or pay something or give some money out or give some personal information, then it's probably a scam. Number 2 of the golden rules is spot check. Take time to actually get the mailing address of who's calling you. Get their phone number, ask where their website is. Not that a criminal couldn't create all those fake ones, but ask them for that information. They'll probably get off the phone and call someone else who won't be asking for so much information. And the 3rd golden rule is never send gift cards as payment. If we could just teach everyone, you don't send a gift card as payment, we can stop a lot of money being lost. And I know retailers are doing such a good job now of when someone comes up to the checkout at a retailer and says, I need to buy $2,000 in gift cards, people will explain, many of the retail businesses will explain that there are scammers out there, and do you know the person that you're sending these to? So I really appreciate the retail businesses trying to get involved in some of the solutions there. So here's a couple other solutions. You can put a scam filter on your caller ID so that a spam message doesn't even come to your phone, or when it does, it says, this is a spam risk. That's what I have on my phone. I've done a couple things. I've used an app called NoMoRobo, which has been endorsed by the Federal Trade Commission. They actually are a company that won some money in a contest that they did years ago. So I've used NoMoRobo. It's not free. I think it's $1.99 a month or something like that. And that helps you keep track of calls that are coming in that might be spam. But also AT&T and Google and other phone carriers now are offering a free protection plan, not a protection plan, I guess, but a free protection, scam ID protection program that you can use on your phone. So Xfinity has it, Comcast, AT&T, and just check out your phone carrier, call them or go to their website and say, how do I block spam calls? And so I have that on my phone now, and I get very few spam calls. And many times the scammers will spoof a number or take a number that's in your area code. So it looks like it might be coming from somebody that you know. You're more likely to pick up a phone call from someone in your area code than someone from a foreign country. So they'll make it look like it's coming from your area code. So if you really want to make sure that you stop any kind of spam or any chance of you being impacted by a robocall or a phone scam or a fake debt collector, there's one thing you can do. If someone calls you and you don't recognize their phone number, just don't pick up. I literally don't pick up any calls that come into my phone unless someone's name pops up. If it's just the phone number, I let it go to voicemail. And if they leave a voicemail because they really know me and really want to talk to me, then I can call them back. If they don't, I'm pretty sure then it was probably a scammer. So we want to make sure that you're talking to people in your life. Go to scamspotter.org, go to fraudsupport.org for help if someone has been a victim. And then make sure to really utilize the FTC resources and the Consumer Report resources. They do a fantastic job of creating prevention and education and awareness materials. So it's another Cyber Tip Tuesday behind us, and I'll be here next Tuesday at 3:05 Eastern. I'm Kristin Judge with the Cybercrime Support Network, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us.